Well, we are live. It is week 7, game number 8 of the 2021 NFL season.
Atlanta, Georgia.
It is between the Detroit Lions going up against the Atlanta Falcons. We are the same thing in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll let this go and see our activity.
We'll see Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Summer drawing to a close here in the Southeast. The roof is closed at the wondrous Mercedes-Benz Stadium due to the hot temps still outside here in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Atlanta. Jamal Agnew now returning. And it's a pretty good return here, so get this up to the 29. The Lions making their way out, led by their 32-year-old quarterback. Hard to believe he's in season number 12 now in a Detroit uniform. Quarterback Matthew Stafford.
When I think of Matthew Stafford in Detroit, I think of numbers, and I mean passing numbers. 40,000 yards passed in his career last year before a back injury landed him on the IR for just 8 games. And to show his value to the team, the Lions lost all 8 games started by either Jeff Driscoll or David Blau. They need a healthy Matthew Stafford in order to compete in the NFC North.
Now first down throw, Stafford. And his first pass is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. This is DeAndre Swift, who of course played just up the road at Athens. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Delayed get there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Crowd getting in a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the Lions trot out their new punter for 2020, Jack Fox. They'll kick it away after 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. This will be taken at the 13. It's on number 25 or about the 24 before going out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their 35-year-old quarterback in his 13th season in the NFL, the former MVP, Matt Ryan.
This past offseason was one where the Atlanta organization continued to build around on their quarterback, Matt Ryan, because he can still throw the rock. Fifth in the NFL in passing yards last year with better than 4,400. He's a guy who knows how to get the ball to his guys on the perimeter and take care of it, even when he's under duress in the pocket. Sacked 48 times last year.
First down run with Gurley, good for only about 3. It's second down now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? And kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The play ball is still open for the coordinator.
From the 27, Ryan. His throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and it's third down.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Ryan. He'll drop his underneath to Gurley, and this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to it, and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
On fourth down, the Falcons trot out the rookie punter from Syracuse, Sterling Hoffrichter. Lowell Agnew was deep to return it. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air. Nice chunk of yardage there. And then additional pickup with his leg after the catch.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give it to Swift. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man, he's got the tight end Hawkinson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. On 1st and 10, Swift down right around the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Grady Jarrett on the tackle there. Remember how he emerged in the Super Bowl against New England? Continues to step his play up. Was a Pro Bowler for the first time after 2019.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Stafford with a play fake to Swift, and he's set to throw. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. points, 1, 2, and 3, and their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get it down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. He taken down. It's not going to take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Three nothing after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, it's Gurley. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is really fooling around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And take this one up close to about the 45. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and they think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third down, Ryan. Walks out the screen to Gurley. He's got this to the 30 before we take it down. That's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play call sense that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 30-yard line. Out the gun, it's Ryan. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan fires it to the center. Trusting Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Swift, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defense in front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, Swift. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a good day.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. The passing game not in sync here early, and now 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they want.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
And turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 11. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get in. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting net in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
Now Gurley. They'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards to pick up, 1st down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half. One that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So this job's a little bit easier for this half.
We need to get the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The Steelers not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Ryan. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's got the Falcons' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. First down now, but that clock rolling. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but did they get it?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Ryan's throw caught by Jones. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They've done an excellent job blanketing Julio Jones here in the first half. That's just his 2nd catch. So as they head into halftime, the Falcons have to ask this question of themselves. How do we get the ball to number 11?
Now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Again, Ryan. To the inside and complete to Hurst. They're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion got for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
We'll see Youngway Koo now for the Falcons. This from 54 yards away. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Well, we take it in there by Kenny Galladay. And they'll get it down as he's inside the 40. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Here's Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. He's running out of steam. Won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the veteran quarterback, Matthew Stafford. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And it will go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Right, bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll set up to throw from the gun. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Gurley. That will be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for first.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Lions pass taken in by Ridley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Completion to Jones. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
In so many ways, Tony Trout is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Gurley. Pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions 41. 9 yards to pick up there. That's a first down.
There's a run there by Todd Gurley. We all know he's looking to rebound from the least productive season of his career. And I think Atlanta presents him a great opportunity to do just that. They'll use him really well running it as well as catching it out of the backfield.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Comes out by Justin Coleman. Turn this time. They'll go out to the 42-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can get a little bit closer this time. Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A nice looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Swift. Only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, it's Swift. They'll get this down to the 10. That was good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. That is up past the 20 and the 22-yard line. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, it's a little bit shaky, maybe try to take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went the secondary target for a really nice game.
This one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. Smithfield to the 30 before being taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Ryan on first down. This one caught by Ridley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackler almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down. Ryan is going to have the hook up to Gage. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. That's going to be incomplete. The contact there, enough enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And this one is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. To return, here's Agnew. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense set to take over. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose, as opposed to playing to win. They've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to do on offense.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. And finds Danny Amendola. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things they consider safe.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. The Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, open man has got it, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball 3rd down. Got the big completion and the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Amendola now, jet sweep, and he's over midfield into Falcon territory. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's Kerryon Johnson, third-year man from Auburn. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with a minute 56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Stanford. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And so I'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? Let's say the 3-yard line, that's where they spot it.
You need to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They put them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Ryan down around the goal line. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Gosh, given the time, the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Time a factor as Ryan will hustle him to the line. Here's Ryan. Looking like Sam's got a man. It's Jones. He's at the 30. That's the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Jones, 94 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny 2-play drive that time. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. To return, here's Agnew. And up to the back at the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now it's Stanford. He's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Stafford now to throw. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Mid of the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Stanford. He will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. 4th down now defensively. Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now. But they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game. We usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball that gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. To return, here's Agnew. And Ridley stepped up at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down and attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. From the right side, taking in here to start this drive. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So they come out throwing to the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime. So many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback line to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
Think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein it at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it over there always is, especially in overtime. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially put a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation, fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And we'll go about a 4-yard shot at the 20 at the 19-yard line. That was the first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Granted, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move the 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, they run with Gurley. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun on 3rd down. Incomplete. this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it, and they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
The Falcons send out their punter on for a very important punt here in overtime. Officials now go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And they get it down, but not before it takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were. And you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. And snap to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. Now, hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout on the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Stafford will play fake to Swift, and he'll set to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on the receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. They'll find Gallagher, and that's complete. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Back to the running game with Swift. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. The Falcons going to use another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here at overtime. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.
So you have it, the Lions winners over the Falcons, 13-10. And I'll end the stream, we might be back with a more live video for my Week 14 NFL picks. So let me set that up and then we'll be right back.